Good morning.
Or evening or afternoon, whenever you're listening to this.
Depending on what part of the world you live in.
That too.
I am Blake or Low Rappy.
I am Crystal.
And I'm Thomas.
We are talking about theories. We came up with this idea because of something that Tom said in the car about is there actual life form outside of Earth? You want to go into that?
Well, what I'm trying to figure out is if there is any other kind of life form, do they live the way we do? I mean, supposedly the nearest star from our system is 4 light years away, which would take several hundred years to reach. And there's planets supposedly orbiting this star, Alpha Centauri, Proxima Centauri, whatever you want to call it. So, question is, if there's other life out there, how do they live?
Well, if you think about it, going back quite a few years, NASA did find a planet that looks identical to Earth. It had water, it had land, it looked identical to Earth.
So the question is, do they have to work for a living? If you really want to get in the details, do they have a monetary system? Do they eat the same kind of food we do?
Do they have a political system?
Do they have a military? Do they have wars between each other? Just simple questions like that.
But another thing is,
do they have automobiles? If it's a city, is it built like cities on Earth?
Like, do they have cars, bikes, boats, planes, trains?
Modes of transportation.
Yeah.
Well, another thing is, Crystal, you absolutely love Star Wars.
Yes, I do.
Tom, Crystal, you guys absolutely love
Star
Trek. Star Wars, the very opening sentence of the movies, in a galaxy far, far away. It never specified if it was true or not. I mean, everybody thinks that, oh, this is fiction. It's not real. Well,
what
galaxy
if it is
far,
real?
far away. There's multiple galaxies in space.
Yeah.
Some of them we haven't even reached.
Like, what if there is a galaxy out there other than ours that does have a planet like Tatooine where it's all sand, or a planet like Coruscant where it's literally just one big giant city?
So to really get the big picture here, the Milky Way galaxy is what we live in. And it's made up of several million stars just in the galaxy alone. The nearest galaxy to ours is, what do they call it? Andromeda, which is 10,000 light years away. That's huge itself. Now, within our galaxy, you've got stars. So if there's planets orbiting stars in solar systems like what we have, that's just in our galaxy. We can't think far out of our realm of, no pun intended, space. I mean, our human thinking is everything's got to act like we do, right? We have to eat. We have to have some kind of liquid to sustain life, have air to breathe. But all this other stuff, I mean, do they fix coffee in the morning? Just simple things like that.
Yeah.
So we can't fathom in our mind and what about lighting? Do they have artificial lighting like we do, or do they have natural lighting? Do they have some other source of energy besides coal or gas or electricity? Think about that.
And when we go into Star Trek. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Well,
Star travel.
Well, I mean, Star Trek kind of delves a little bit into space travel as well, because they're always going around finding brand new planets, brand new beings to come in contact with and sometimes fight.
What's interesting though about Star Trek is that everybody they encounter, a lot of planets that's got some scenario like the one about the Indians, they're all humanoids.
Yeah.
We are humanoids. So it's possible that there are more humans out in space the way they look at it.
But
Vulcans, Klingons, all them Romulans, they're made like man, but they're not humans. They're a totally different species.
Yeah, I
of
mean, look
man.
at Spock. Compared to everyone else on the Enterprise, he's the only one that's like really, like, not 100% physically different. You know, yeah, he has the really funky eyebrows and the cool ears, but he also, when, he gets cut, he doesn't bleed red, he bleeds green.
What I know interesting about that is he's a half breed. His
Yeah.
mom was human, and his dad was a Vulcan.
But Star Trek, what is the very first line in any of it?
Space, the final frontier.
Exactly, and what does frontier mean? It hasn't
Something
been
that hadn't been explored yet.
exactly. So
I mean,
space really is the final frontier.
Well, if you think of the opening of Star Trek, yes, it says Space, a Final Frontier, but it also says these are the voyages of the Enterprise, a 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds. You know, it goes into that.
To boldly go where no one has gone before.
Exactly.
Exactly. But frontier means something that hasn't been fully explored yet. And space really is the final frontier. I mean, yes, we haven't explored full oceans yet. Technically, that is a frontier.
Yeah.
But if we're going into space, then who knows what we have out there? I mean, everybody says that the military is hiding aliens and UFOs and all of that.
For all we know, they could be.
Exactly.
So what's our idea of what a UFO is? Does that mean the
Unidentified
little
flying
green
object.
people? It's an unidentified flying object, but that don't mean that it's a flying saucer from Mars.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
if there is other life out in space, or like in our own solar system, like Martians, Venetians, or whatever, are they going to be little green people? I doubt that, unless they don't breathe the same air we do and they turn green when they come down here. Who knows?
Yeah. Or are they going to be like the crazy looking aliens you see in Star Wars, where some of them literally have 3 eyes coming out of their heads? Or, are they going to be kind of human, but also robotic like Darth Vader? We never know.
So here's the logical, maybe, assumption. God created the universe. He created man as his own image. We depict an alien to have 2 eyes and a mouth, like we do. Not in the same shape, but in the same manner.
But if we want to go into that, look at the angels. We all think that they have 2 eyes and a mouth. Well, if you read the Bible and how the Bible depicts angels,
They're actually terrifying.
they are terrifying.
There are different ideas of angels, but angels are really not human beings. They are angelical beings. So they're totally different than human.
And what I like to say is, like,
if you're thinking of demons now, there are some demonic creatures behind the scenes, as well as angels are the good people and demonics are the bad people.
And just like, angels, demons can pass off as normal, everyday human beings as well.
And what I like to say is, like, we all put our trust in something we can't see, feel, hear, touch, none of that. But if you watch the Santa Claus movies, have you ever seen $1 million?
No.
Okay. Does that mean it doesn't exist?
No.
Okay, God. Have we ever seen him? Does that mean he doesn't exist?
We see evidence around us
yeah.
that he
Exactly.
exists.
We see
Yeah.
Even for $1
evidence.
million.
We see
You
evidence,
see evidence
around us.
around
And
us.
we could say the same thing about Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. Like, have we ever seen them? Maybe
Are you telling
not.
me there's no Easter Bunny?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like,
You're
have
telling
we...
me there's no Santa Claus?
Shut up.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
just saying, like...
My life is shattered.
No, I'm just saying, like, have we ever seen them? No, but do we know that they exist? They could exist.
See, and this goes back into the whole space thing. We never see anything outside of our Earth unless you've actually been to space.
Exactly.
Which, shout out to those who have, because
Yes.
it takes a lot of bravery, but
Like,
still.
I would love to be able to go up into a rocket and just shoot up into space, but like that's also terrifying to think about.
But
The only thing is, like, they want to send people to Mars but what I've seen on YouTube and some other theories about that is, like, once you go up there and live to try to build something, you could never return to Earth again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know,
There was
that's
a whole
a frightening.
Family Guy episode
That's a
about
frightening
it.
thing there.
Yeah, there was a Family Guy episode where Meg gets accepted to go to space, and it was a one-direction trip.
Yeah.
Meaning you're gonna go, you never coming back.
Yeah, and she was going to Mars.
You know,
Specifically.
but I don't think we're really meant to go outside our realm. I don't know. We can explore. Look at the Voyagers. Voyager 1 and 2 have left our heliosphere, which they've gone past what they consider Pluto, and are exactly sending messages back. They are 1 light year away from us, because it takes 1 year now for them to receive a message to us. And they've been gone over 50 years.
Yeah.
Think about that. So something that's 1 light year away is like 50 years.
See, and
So if we've got a planet that's 4 light years away, do the math.
It's 4 years.
4 light years away, 50 years per light year.
50 years per light year.
That's like 200 years.
Yeah. See, but we want to.
It would take 200 years to get a signal from them to us, or to even go out there at whatever speed.
See, and we want to go into all these space theories. I've seen quite a few videos of this satellite called the Black Knight. Nobody's ever touched it in years. It's just there. It looks abandoned. It's not sending any signals.
Just floating around in space.
Literally, and it looks like it's watching Earth. What is you guys' theory on that?
Well, it could very well be abandoned, you know.
Okay, now
Or did some other intelligence put it together?
that was
Exactly.
my
Or
gonna
did
be my next question.
somebody
Is
take it over?
Is it actually abandoned, or did it come
is it
from
function?
somebody else?
Yeah.
Did it, or not somebody else, but something else? Did it come from a different galaxy? Did it come from a different planet? Did it come from a different star at that?
Or did it come from our planet, but somebody outside of our planet took it over?
See, nobody knows where it came from. Nobody knows what it is.
So to think about the vastness of space, creation in our knowledge could probably be 10,000 years from the time that God created what we know through the Bible to now. And some of these stars that they see are like billions of years old. So stuff was like before. Are we just making an assumption because of light travel that's could be? Because if it explodes, we see a star exploding like Betelgeuse. They talk about that in the Orion Belt, the orange star. It's supposed to explode soon because it's going nova. You know, supposedly that happened several million years ago, and we're just now seeing it. Which kind of makes you wonder, are we really that old? Now, all this was created by God, but our little realm of dimension and time, from the time He created the earth to where we stand today, is only in our dimension of time. The earth probably been around longer than that. Who knows? The Great Flood Theory. Scientists have proven that there was some kind of global flood at one point.
Scientists have even found evidence that Noah's Ark actually did exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the world was totally different from the time God created it to the Great Flood, because it shaped everything. There was a comment in the Bible when Noah and them stepped out after the flood. You know, they were in a whole different world. Everything was changed differently from what they remembered because they were up there for a year in that ark. So a lot of rapid water on a global, like the Grand Canyon was probably carved out through all that. well, we're looking at several thousand years ago when that happened.
And time. Time is a lot different than what it was in the Bible.
Before the calendar really came out, before Christ was born, everything was calculated in BC, which means before Christ, before that calendar started. So we think time goes back. Oh, that was 4,000 BC. Yeah, 4,000 years prior to Christ being born.
See, but according to the Bible, is it actually years or is it considered days?
As a
in that
year,
time?
that's a good question. I mean, did they consider 365 days a year, or did they have it on another different scale? The calendar that was brought after Christ came into the world and what we live under now, AD, which is not after death, something. Hold on. Bless me. The year of our Lord is basically what AD stands for. I forget what the name of it is. But it was organized in 365 days as 1 year. Now, prior to that, I don't know what BC was. Those years might have been 3 years long for 1 year. Who knows?
Yeah, but
I don't really know if there's any account to that unless the Jewish people have accounts of that through the Bible or through their teachings.
They could have tracked the year by the season changes.
See, and another thing is...
Well, seasons were around too. But
because you got snow, you got rain, you got all these other elemental factors that go with the seasons.
Well, to get into detail, did they have 2 springs in 1 year? Did they have 2 winters in 1 year?
See, and another thing is a lot of people were saying that BC, their years were going backwards. So, like, it's 2026 now.
Well, yeah, you gotta do it that way because it was before Christ. So
yeah,
that was 2 years before. That was 2 years 2 BC, which means 2 years before Christ was born. 500 BC was 500. So it has to go back because they didn't. Now they might have had some kind of calculated calendar system prior to that, but as the Bible is recorded and who wrote the Bible, it's all under BC. Could it be possible it was 10,000 BC? Who knows?
Until Christ was born,
Right.
which it moved to AD.
And everything started counting up from there because we are in the 21st century. 2026 years since Christ was born.
Yeah.
That's a long time. I've heard other theories that everything happens in over 2,000 year periods. Like supposedly there was 2,000 years between Adam and Noah, 2,000 years between Noah and Christ, and now we've gone over 2,000 years since Christ was born.
Mm-hmm.
So
Does that mean there's another cycle? Well, of course, the Bible says the Lord's going to return again. Is that going to be 2,000 years after he left? Who knows?
So what's going to happen in 4,000?
If, we're around. I'm sure the 22nd century is probably going to show up, but...
See, but think about it this way. You said that everything happens in 2,000 years. Every 2,000 years something happens.
Pretty much like that.
You said that Adam and Noah was 2,000 years separate.
According to the Bible, if you look at the genealogy, it's close to 2,000. It might be a little bit more, but I'm just kind of on an average, from what I've heard, that it's like that. It's like 2,000 years prior to the time of Adam to Noah. And you do the genealogy with all the... It's possible that Noah was born when Adam was still around.
Yeah.
Because people lived 900 some years back in those days.
So what if what we said was actually wrong, and every 2,000 years is just 2 days?
Possible.
It could be.
But if we make it to the year 4,000, you said that it's already 2,000 years after Christ.
Another 2,000 years.
Yeah.
So
that's just... See, stuff like that's hard for our mind to comprehend.
Well, what was it? Back in September or October, it was rumored that the rapture was happening.
yeah.
So, I mean, it didn't happen, but what if it did? It would have been 2,000 years after Christ had been born, right?
It could be possibility that's 2,000 years after he died that he returns, and he was 34 years old. Do the math.
True.
So then, like 2034 could be the year that he comes back.
You
if
could
that's
make
the case.
assumptions and stuff, but the way the world is in Revelation, it talks about how the end times would come about, and there's signs and seasons that you can tell. I mean, you would have swore up and down 40 years ago that the end times was here, but nothing has come to pass. So, I've just stopped trying to figure it out and just live every day. But getting back to the space thing, time, I mean, come on, 50 some years this Voyager has been traveling. And they didn't think it would reach the edge of the galaxy. It was only supposed to be out there for a few years to take pictures of the gas planets. Sucker's still going. And if somebody was to find it, some intelligence was to find the golden record that's on there of Earth sounds.
Yeah.
All different kind of greetings, all different kinds of music, Earth sounds that's on this golden disc that they put on there in 1977. Whoever's going to find it is going to find Earth's past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They think, oh, wow, this is something. But actually, that was 50 Earth years ago. Crazy thought. And it even shows on there, our level of technology at the time showed some intelligence to find it, how to play it. It's actually drawn on the record to show how to retrieve what's on there.
That's crazy.
And they were thinking that, because what kind of language is out there in space? If there was another planet, do they speak English? No, English was a Earth-made language. Spanish was an Earth-made language.
Yeah.
Mind you, there's got to be some kind of communication on another world, correct?
Yeah.
But we're not going to understand it like English. And they couldn't comprehend what we're trying to tell them unless we,
Yeah.
you, Blake, Bagiba, I mean, who knows? Crazy thoughts, but that's, both Voyagers have the record on there. So they were both launched.
Yeah.
So, and they're still getting signals back from Voyager. It's taken a year now, which they say it's one light. Voyager is actually 1 light year away from us.
Yeah.
Because it's taken about a year to get the signal back from Voyager.
I mean, it's just crazy to think about.
But I can't believe that this space is that huge, that we're just a minute little pebble of sand in the midst of all this vastness. There's got to be a purpose and a reason. There's got to be more out there.
Yeah.
Than just what we got. Because scientists have already proved there are other planets out there, whether they're gas giants or just rocks, planets. Look at all the ones in our solar system. So if our solar system has all these planets and moons, yeah, and something is orbiting Proxima Centauri. And they're keeping an eye on that because they think, the Hubble telescope, what's that other telescope that's out floating around that's more powerful? The James Webb telescope?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposedly picking up more than just what the Hubble did.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there's a lot of abandoned things in space. I mean, we have abandoned rovers on Mars. We have abandoned satellites orbiting our planet. And then we have all these things that are still being used, 50, 100 years later.
Well, it's like the Voyagers, they're still under power, but they say in a couple more years they're going to lose its power.
Yeah.
Now, if some other intelligence picks it up, what are they going to do with it? I'm sure they'll analyze it. How do they analyze it? Do they analyze it like we do? Are they going to shoot it, destroy it? Well, that means they have weapons.
And then we have...
I just don't believe that some other intelligent out there wants to conquer this world like we want to try to conquer other worlds.
Yeah.
We want to dominate the planet Mars because it should be our right.
Yeah.
as Earth or United States or the world, NASA, whatever, we should be able to just establish a community on there. What if there are life up there and we're invading their territory?
Exactly.
Yeah, and we have
Is that right?
We have robots
Oh yeah.
that have been sent to different planets. And I mean, just a few months ago, like I was scrolling through TikTok and like I came across this video that said that this robot ran out of power and before it died, it sang a song saying like, "Hey, I'm running out of power. Uh just remember me, all of this."
Yeah.
And it like literally sang a song
That's crazy.
and sent it to Earth before it actually died. And
Sorry,
it just
I'm done.
resurfaced.
Bye.
It just resurfaced like 50, 100 years later.
I doubt it'd be 100 years because we hadn't got that technology, but within 50 years, I'd say.
Yeah.
It could have been up there the last 30 years for all we know.
Yeah, but I mean,
Well, we're sending more probes out there to look at stuff, and there's nothing wrong with probes. Probes will never return. They'll just send information. But if there's space junk out there just floating around from us,
I mean,
you
we're
know.
still getting space junk falling back to Earth years later.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just crazy to think about all this stuff that is just left in space. Like
we're
everybody
cluttering space.
Everybody says, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Earth doesn't have rings like Jupiter and Saturn and all that." Well, I mean, we have rings. They're
Every
just not the
planet
rings
has
that you think
some
they're.
kind of orbit, something that gets close to its sphere of influence. That, like the rings of Saturn, that stuff's been
Yeah.
twirling around, and it was due to collapsed rocks of planets. That
Yeah, and we don't
Every
have.
planet has some sort of orbit on it. Otherwise, other planets wouldn't have
Well,
moons.
and it's due
and
to
things
the
like that.
gravitational force that's on that planet.
Well, what I'm
Everything is in
saying-
a rotation of some
Yeah.
type.
Yeah, what I'm saying is like we don't have rings like Saturn and Jupiter like rocks. We have rings of space debris and satellites.
Well, look at all the satellites we got floating around now.
Exactly. We have
Yeah.
the ISS.
What's that one that looks like a train of lights? Starlink.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, we have the ISS, we have Starlink, we have the Black Knight, which again, we don't know where it came from or what it's doing.
It's just there.
It's literally just there. But I mean, we don't have rings like Saturn and Jupiter. We have random stuff floating around our planet.
Yeah, because Saturn and Jupiter, their rings are mostly made up of asteroids and other rocks, and who knows, maybe debris from past ships or stuff that
Now-
are just like in its random orbit.
Now, Pluto. Do we think that used to be a moon? Or did it just become a planet?
It can probably classify as a moon because it's smaller or about the same size as our moon. And
Yeah.
Well, it's also smaller than Mercury.
yeah.
It's smaller than Venus. It is the smallest planet in our solar system.
That's why it's called a dwarf planet.
And it's so small they don't even count it as a planet.
I know.
Which means it could be an asteroid, it could be a moon. It's just there. And let's be real, it doesn't even have the same circular path around the sun that our planets do.
Well, the farther out you go, the farther the circle. It's like they say it takes 85 years for Pluto to make a complete loop around the sun. 84 or 85 Earth years.
Yeah.
So, from the time they noticed it, I mean, it still hadn't made its complete loop around the sun. It's way out there.
Yeah.
But everything is revolving in a circular motion. Even our planet is turning as we're going around the sun.
Yeah.
All these other planets are turning as we go around the sun.
But I mean, like, everybody says when they ask you, "Hey, tell me what the planets are in order," nobody says Pluto.
Yeah, I remember hearing talking about that when I was growing up. Pluto was part of it, and then they just kind of threw it off. But they sent one of them probes out there. It took them 10 years to get there, but
Yeah.
they took some pictures
And they deciphered it as a dwarf planet.
I mean, it's just dark and cold.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about being depressed? That
There was
planet's
a
more
whole-
depressed than half this planet.
There was a whole episode of Magic School Bus about them going out into space and exploring the planets and stuff. They went to every single planet, including Pluto.
Yeah, and I remember seeing that episode.
Yeah.
But I mean, Pluto's just dark and cold. I mean, we want to talk about being depressed. That planet is more depressed than half this planet.
And no amount
Well, think of the moon.
Zoloft will help.
You
poor
could be
Pluto.
on the moon and have a black sky like it's nighttime, but you're lit up like it's daytime.
Yeah.
There's no blue sky because there's no atmosphere.
Yeah.
At least Mars has some kind of atmosphere that's reddish looking, which puts off the color that the planet's red from
Yeah.
a distance, but it's not a breathable atmosphere.
Yeah.
Venus supposedly has landscapes just like Earth, but it's a poisonous planet. So I think something catastrophic hit Venus and destroyed what was on there, and that's why the atmosphere is blowing off what it's doing.
Yeah.
Mars the same way. I think at some point Mars laid waste from some catastrophic event. Some asteroid could have hit it and destroyed life that was on it, and that's all that's left of Mars.
Speaking of asteroids, going along with like
Asteroid.
theories, do you really believe the theory that asteroids killed off all the dinosaurs?
I mean, that's what they want to say.
Because I don't know if I believe that.
I think the
'cause-
Great Flood wiped them out, and they couldn't ever.
Well, here's my theory. Every animal,
Noah couldn't get them on the ark.
every
Yeah.
animal that has ever existed goes extinct at some point. That could have happened to the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs could have very easily had just gone extinct.
You know, and everybody wants to say, or scientists want to believe that dinosaurs were around before man.
I mean, they could have been, but we don't know.
You know, because they have found evidence. So it kind of makes you wonder, though, if the Earth is older than what we think, but our dimension of time from Adam didn't start till later on. So, yeah, God created it. We say he created it within 7 years or 7 days. That might have been due to something that happened prior to our dimension in time. The original Earth was there, got destroyed. The Bible was written that he created it, so we know that he did create it. And the Earth we live on now was a new creation from what was originally there.
Yeah.
This time he put man on there.
Yeah, but that still poses the
And there goes
question
Adam.
of if dinosaurs still came about after the new creation.
I mean, look at alligators.
No, because they want to, well, alligators is some kind of a reptile.
Yeah.
I think certain mammals in that, but like elephants, they're kind of
Yeah.
like mammoths, you know what I'm saying? And of course, the world wasn't explored. They could have been all in this section where nobody was around, because the center of attention was around the Middle East at the time that man was created. So if there was dinosaurs in this part of the world, United States, to be later, you know, after the Great Flood, they got wiped out. Or the world didn't get totally wiped out, and what happened 10,000 BC or a billion BC when all these dinosaurs were around was probably part of the old Earth
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying that,
before it got restructured.
yeah, and a lot of people are saying that alligators and turtles and elephants are all just
And snakes.
nowadays. I mean, still a part of the dinosaur family.
Well, if you think about it, mammoths and elephants aren't that far apart from each other in relativity, because if you take the tusks off of a mammoth, what does it look like? An elephant, right?
Elephants do have tusks, but not as
Exactly.
big as what a mammoth had. But
Exactly. So an elephant could just be an evolution
A
of
rhinoceros.
a mammoth.
So are you telling me that somebody decided to take a razor to a mammoth?
It could have happened. You never know.
I mean,
That was an
mammoths.
inbred.
But
I
think
mean,
about it. An
mammoths
elephant
have-
could just be an evolution of a mammoth.
Yeah, and mammoths have fur.
Mm-hmm.
Elephants don't.
That's why I
So-
said an evolution.
So you're telling me that somebody took a razor to a mammoth?
I mean,
Who knows?
we don't know. It could have happened. Or maybe just over time, the mammoths started slowly losing their fur. And out came an elephant.
Who knows? But guys, that or those or whatever, those are our theories.
Some of them.
Some of them. We will come up with a posting schedule and we will go from there. So we will see you guys next time. It is Blake,
Crystal.
And Thomas.
and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.